Welcome, listeners, to another My Mind MashUps deep dive, where we unravel mysteries, spark curiosity, and make sense of complex ideas together.
It's really great to be here.
Yeah, we're thrilled to have you. But before we jump into the thick of it today, I just want to take a quick moment to say a huge thank you to all the listeners who showed their appreciation by buying us a coffee.
Oh yeah, that support is amazing.
It really is. So if you would like to support our channel, the link is in the description below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy content that makes you think.
Absolutely.
So to start us off today, I actually want you, the listener, to do something for me. Just for a second, if you can, close your eyes.
Unless you're driving, of course.
Right. Please keep your eyes open if you're driving. But otherwise, just picture a very specific, vivid childhood memory. Like maybe it's the smell of a summer evening right as the streetlights start to flicker on and the heat is rising off the asphalt.
Oh, that's a classic one.
Or maybe it's the very distinct rattling sound of an old yellow school bus pulling up to your stop. Or even, the warmth of a family kitchen on a Sunday morning with that low hum of a refrigerator in the background.
Yeah, you can really picture it.
If you really sit with that image, you can feel it, can't you? There is this profound, bittersweet ache. It's an almost physical pull in your chest, this deep, universal human experience of wanting just for a moment to go back.
And that physical pull, it's actually measurable in the brain. Like, it completely bypasses our logical centers.
Really, just go straight to the emotions.
Straight there. You feel that ache before your conscious mind can even articulate what it is you're supposedly missing. It's a beautifully human reflex, but it's also, it's one of the most easily manipulated cognitive states we experience.
Man, easily manipulated. That is exactly what we are getting into today. Because every single deep dive we do here is about three core things: sparking curiosity, challenging assumptions, and expanding understanding.
And today's topic definitely hits all three.
It really does. Today's mission does all three in a big way. We're looking at an incredible stack of sources today, spanning psychology, memory science, and consumer data, to explore something we are calling the nostalgia machine.
It's a fascinating concept.
Right. We are looking at this powerful double-edged sword. On one side, nostalgia is a deeply human emotional response. But on the other side, it has been engineered into a massive commercial infrastructure. We aren't just remembering the past anymore.
No, we are being sold it.
Exactly, we are being sold our own past.
Because nostalgia isn't just an aesthetic trend, like a sepia filter you throw on a photo for Instagram.
Yeah.
It is a psychological defense mechanism.
The defense mechanism, so it's protecting us from something.
Yes. What the research shows us is that we rarely reach for the past randomly. We reach backwards specifically when the present feels unstable, overwhelming, or threatening.
Okay, Sai, let's unpack this. Because to understand why we look back, we actually have to diagnose how we feel right now.
And the data on how we feel right now is, well, it's not great.
No, it's incredibly telling. If you look at the American Psychological Association's 2025 Stress in America report, alongside the recent Gallup data, we are seeing record-high financial worries, political polarization, and stress about the future.
It's just a lot for our brains to process.
The present, for a lot of people, just feels chaotic. It feels expensive, and above all, it feels relentlessly fast. Like everything is constantly updating, constantly shifting.
Right, because the cognitive load of navigating that kind of constant change is exhausting. When you feel like you can't catch your breath in the present, the past suddenly looks like a life raft.
A life raft, that makes total sense.
There was a staggering 2025 survey from the Pew Research Center that really illustrates this point. They asked U.S. adults where they would choose to live if they could seamlessly transport themselves to another era.
And the results were wild.
Literally 45% of respondents said they would choose to live sometime in the past.
Almost half of the country would prefer to hit rewind.
Almost half. And only 14% chose the future.
14% choosing the future is a massive cultural red flag. Think of nostalgia like a psychological comfort blanket. When the room, meaning the present moment, gets too cold, we immediately reach for the blanket to warm us up.
That's a perfect way to describe it.
Does this mean nostalgia is actually a diagnostic tool for our current stress levels rather than an accurate reflection of how great things actually were back then?
Yes, absolutely. Psychologists call this the regulatory model of nostalgia. It acts as a homeostatic corrective.
Meaning it brings us back to baseline.
Right. In plain English, Our brains have a built-in thermostat for our emotional well-being. So when a sudden stressor hits, like losing a job, moving to a new city, or just feeling overwhelmed by global crises, your emotional temperature drops.
And so the thermostat kicks on.
Exactly. Nostalgia steps in to provide a thread of continuity. It essentially whispers to your nervous system, you have been here before. You have a story. You belong.
Wow. You belong. That's powerful.
It really is. It lowers cortisol levels and provides cognitive ease. And what's crucial is that research from the University of Southampton shows the strongest nostalgic memories are almost always peopled.
Peopled, meaning the memory isn't about the stuff, it's about the social connection.
Bingo. You aren't usually nostalgic for a completely empty room or like a specific piece of technology itself. You are nostalgic for the people in that room.
So the past becomes a symbol for connection.
Right. You might think you missed the era of dial-up internet or having an old flip phone, but what you deeply want to recover is the feeling of being protected, being less alone, or being part of a shared, slower rhythm before hyperconnectivity made us all feel so isolated.
That makes perfect sense. But if we are reaching for the past because the present feels unstable, I have to ask a difficult question about the accuracy of that comfort blanket.
I have a feeling I know where you're going with this.
Well, how historically true is that warm past we are clinging to? Because my memory of childhood summers is 100% sunshine, running through sprinklers, and 0 mosquito bites. And I know there were mosquitoes, but they just aren't in the memory.
Yeah, your brain is doing exactly what it was built to do. Contemporary memory science, particularly the work of psychologist Daniel Schachter, shows us that human memory is constructive.
Constructive? I'm picturing someone building a house. We don't just pull a fully formed memory out of a filing cabinet. We assemble it from raw materials every time we think about it.
Yes, that's spot on. Memory is not a documentary film sitting on a hard drive in your brain. It is an active editing process.
So we're constantly rewriting it.
Every single time you recall a memory, you are pulling fragments of sensory data, emotion, and context, and stitching them together. And our brains rely on these adaptive, constructive processes to make meaning out of our lives.
But because we're doing the stitching right now.
Right, because you are reconstructing the memory in your current emotional state, the process is incredibly prone to distortion. There is a phenomenon called fading effect bias.
Fading effect bias.
Yeah, it basically means that the emotional impact of negative events fades much faster than the impact of positive events.
I hear the science, I do, but when you are in the grip of nostalgia, those memories feel so undeniably true. You can smell the kitchen, you can hear the music. It feels like an objective reality, not a construction.
It feels true because it is emotionally true. The neurochemical response in your body is real. But we have to separate emotional truth from historical truth.
Ah, I see.
Vividness does not equal historical precision.
Nostalgia is a highlight reel, not the full game tape. We remember the great music and the childhood freedom, but our brains conveniently edit out the boredom, the stress, the conflicts.
Exactly. And on a larger scale, we edit out the historical inequalities of those eras.
Right, we wash out the fine print to keep the bright colors because the bright colors lower our stress.
What's fascinating here is that exact distinction between what sociologists call memory truth and history truth.
Memory truth versus history truth.
Okay.
Memory truth validates our feelings. It tells you what a moment felt like to you personally and why it still matters to your identity.
And history truth.
History truth requires stepping back and asking a broader set of questions like, what else was happening? Who was excluded from that so-called simpler time?
Yeah, because it wasn't simpler for everyone.
Exactly. The danger arises when we confuse a warm, edited personal memory with a total, objective, historical reality.
Memory truth versus history truth. That is a vital distinction to hold on to as we move forward. And actually, just a quick midway reminder for you listening.
Yeah.
If this is resonating, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next deep dive.
It really helps the show.
It does. We tackle complex stuff like this all the time, and we'd love to have you along for the ride. So we've established that human memory is naturally a highlight reel, and that this reel brings us profound psychological comfort when the present is stressful, mostly by lowering our cognitive load.
But the human brain isn't the only thing that knows how to play that highlight reel anymore.
Oh, definitely not.
What happens when businesses and algorithms learn to put your emotional highlight reel on autoplay?
Well, that changes the entire landscape.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Because we are moving from nostalgia as a natural biological feeling to nostalgia as an engineered machine. Think about how we used to access the past.
It took effort.
Right. Your memories were stored in a cultural attic. You had to intentionally walk up the stairs, open a physical dusty box, and pull out the old photo album or the old cassette tape to induce that feeling.
But now streaming platforms and social media have taken that cultural attic and turned it into an endless 24/7 storefront.
They are actively pulling items down from the attic and placing them right in your hands without you even asking.
Yes. Researchers Jacobson and Beer call this quantified nostalgia. Social media platforms have turned our past into data objects that can be scored, categorized, and resurfaced at the exact moment you are likely to engage with them.
Like the On This Day features on Meta or Apple Photos?
Exactly those.
Yeah.
Cambridge Research notes how these platforms actively curate our pasts with photo collages, videos set to emotive music, and date-based reminders. And this isn't random.
It's heavily engineered, right?
Meta's own engineering blog has described how their On This Day feature uses complex filtering and ranking systems. The algorithm analyzes your past engagement metrics, uses facial recognition to identify the people you care about most, and surfaces the memories mathematically proven to trigger a dopamine hit.
Wow. So the past is no longer just remembered, it is recommended.
Recommended directly to you.
The machine doesn't just know what you liked, it knows what you might miss. It knows that seeing a picture of your dog from 5 years ago on a stressful Tuesday afternoon is going to trigger a chemical reward in your brain.
And that lowers your stress.
Which makes you associate the app with comfort, which keeps you scrolling longer.
And it scales up far beyond our personal camera rolls into massive marketing and cultural trends. I mean, why do brands rely so heavily on nostalgia?
Because it works.
Because nostalgia inherently lowers our emotional resistance. Evaluating a brand new product requires cognitive effort. You have to decide if it's good, if you trust it, if it's worth the money.
But familiarity skips that critical evaluation step.
Exactly. Familiarity feels safe. This is why we see so much retro packaging, reissued products, and legacy brand remakes.
The U.S. Chamber of Commerce highlighted some wild Kantar data on this. 81% of young consumers say they like it when brands bring back products and trends from their childhood.
That's a massive majority.
It is, but I'm struggling to wrap my head around another piece of this research. Historical nostalgia. How does a 19-year-old miss the 1990s?
It sounds like a paradox, doesn't it?
Yeah. They are longing for an era they didn't even live in. Is it just the aesthetic they're chasing, or is something deeper going on?
It is much deeper than aesthetics. Gen Z consumers who are deeply nostalgic for the 1990s or the Y2K era aren't missing the actual lived reality of those decades. They are missing the symbolic promise of those eras.
The symbolic promise, like what?
Look at the resurgence of analog film cameras, wired headphones, and flip phones among teenagers today. It is a direct rejection of the hyperconnectivity that is currently causing them stress.
Oh, wow. So the tech itself is a statement.
Right. Brands can sell this pre-lived nostalgia because the aesthetic itself promises authenticity, warmth, and the illusion of a simpler life before algorithms track their every move.
It skips the critical thinking part of the brain and goes straight to the part that wants to feel safe. And nowhere is this more obvious or more lucrative than in the music industry.
Absolutely. Music is perhaps the ultimate nostalgia engine because auditory memory is so deeply tied to our emotional centers.
We've all heard a song and been instantly transported back to high school.
And the industry knows that. Data from Luminate shows that music rights and catalog acquisitions have become a booming alternative asset class. Wall Street is literally trading in our emotional longing.
That is wild.
Just look at the 2026 data from Spotify. Fleetwood Mac's album, Rumors, hit over 8.3 billion streams, nearly 5 decades after it was released.
8.3 billion streams. That's not just people who were around in the 70s listening to it.
Not at all. TikTok is giving older songs a massive second life as they become viral sounds for a new generation. Plus, you have personalization features like Spotify Wrapped.
Oh, everyone loves Spotify Wrapped.
But think about what it is. It takes your own listening history, quantifies it, and packages it into a highly shareable, playful product.
Your own nostalgia is repackaged and sold back to you as social currency.
It is an incredibly well-oiled machine.
It really is. We have this algorithmic storefront that is always open, actively pulling us backward, packaging our own memories and cultural history into products. But acknowledging this creates a real friction.
Because it feels good.
Yes. It is hard to resist this machine because, as we established, the highlight reel feels really good. When the present is stressful, we want the comfort blanket. So what does this all mean? How do we engage with our past without getting emotionally trapped in it?
To navigate that friction, we can look to the work of the late cultural theorist Svetlana Boym. She made a brilliant and necessary distinction between two types of nostalgia: reflective nostalgia and restorative nostalgia.
Okay, I want to make sure I grasp the mechanics of this. Walk us through how reflective nostalgia operates in our daily lives.
Reflective nostalgia is healthy and productive. It recognizes the longing, the ambiguity, and the contradiction of the past. It acknowledges that the past is gone and cannot be recreated.
It accepts reality.
Yes. When you experience reflective nostalgia, you are asking yourself, what did this memory teach me? What did I value then that I can adapt and bring into my life right now? It is using the past as a resource for self-improvement.
So it's like looking at a Facebook memory of yourself playing in a garage band 10 years ago. Reflective nostalgia says, man, I really miss being creative with my friends. I should find a way to incorporate more collaborative creativity into my current routine.
Exactly.
It doesn't say, I need to quit my corporate job, buy a drum set, and move back into my parents' garage.
Right, because that second reaction would be restorative nostalgia.
And that one is the problem.
Restorative nostalgia is dangerous. It doesn't just miss the past, it claims everything would be fixed if we could just go back to how things were. It tries to literally rebuild the lost home, the lost era.
And if I believe the past was absolutely perfect and the present is terrible, I have to blame someone for ruining it.
Exactly, the mechanism Boym warns about. The danger of restorative nostalgia, especially on a collective or societal level, is that it requires a pristine, unblemished version of history to function.
Which we know doesn't exist.
Right. And to maintain that illusion, it often leads to outgroup rejection and historical dishonesty. It demands a return to a pure past that never actually existed for everyone.
And when marginalized groups point out that the simpler time was actually a time of severe inequality for them,
It threatens the restorative nostalgic's core coping mechanism, which often triggers anger and division.
if reflective nostalgia asks, what did this teach me? Restorative nostalgia says, let's burn down the present reality to get the past back.
That is a profound difference.
And it gives us real, practical advice for navigating the nostalgia machine in our own pockets. We shouldn't let algorithms dictate when and how we remember. We have the agency to introduce friction.
You really do. You can mute specific dates on your phone.
You can turn off the on this day reminders if they are pulling you backward into a headspace that prevents you from moving forward. You don't have to walk into the storefront just because the door is open.
This raises an important question for all of us. When nostalgia hits you hard, when you feel that deep ache we talked about at the beginning of the show, what is it actually pointing toward?
Yeah, what is underneath it?
Is it pointing to a genuine need for connection, a need for safety, a desire for simplicity in a complicated week?
The ache is a symptom, not the disease.
Beautifully said. The past itself cannot be restored. But the human needs hidden inside that feeling of nostalgia, the need for a friend, for a predictable routine, for a sense of wonder, those can often be rebuilt in modern, present-day forms.
So we should use the past as a compass.
Yes, use it as a compass to point us toward what we need to build in the present, not as a hiding place to avoid the future.
Use the past as a compass, not a hiding place, to bring all of this together. The past can be a beautiful lantern. It can illuminate what we value, what made us who we are, and what we want to carry forward.
But it shouldn't run our lives.
Exactly. We cannot let the past become a landlord that collects rent from our present reality. We have to live here, right now, in the present.
And if we don't, well, it leads to one final, slightly provocative thought I want to leave you to mull over.
Oh, I'm ready. Let's hear it.
If our present reality is being constantly shaped by algorithms that are feeding us a curated diet of our past, what happens to the memories we are supposedly making right now?
Oh, wow. If we aren't present.
Right. If we spend our current moments mindlessly consuming quantified packages of our previous moments, will we even have authentic present memories to be nostalgic for in 20 years? Or will we only have memories of the algorithms themselves, recommending our own lives back to us?
That is a chilling and fascinating thought to end on. Are we making memories today, or are we just scrolling through yesterday? We really want to hear from you on this one. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective could shape our next deep dive.
Yeah, tell us what you are nostalgic for and how you manage the algorithms in your own life. It is a conversation we all need to be actively having before the algorithms have it for us.
Definitely. Please like, comment, and subscribe to hear more My Mind Mashups deep dives. Find My Mind Mashups everywhere you listen. Amazon Music, Audible, Facebook, Pocket Casts, Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for being here. Until next time, I hope the next time you smell that summer evening asphalt or hear the rattle of that school bus, you can enjoy the highlight reel but stay grounded right here in the present. Thanks for listening.